Trump just tried to outsmart Jeff Bezos on tariffs and got steamrolled by a delivery truck full of Amazon receipts. Let's unpack this. Trust me, it will get crazy.
What new areas of business to get into?
There are a few things that we think about when we get into new business. First of all, we want to know if it's successful, can it be meaningful in the context of Amazon's overall business? It doesn't have to be successful. That's okay. We don't want any guarantees that the business is going to be successful before we get into it.
So you thought Jeff Bezos was busy sipping smoothies in zero gravity? Think again. The space cowboy just launched a scorched earth sneak attack straight at Donald Trump. No booster rockets needed, because instead of orbiting Mars, Bezos is now orbiting Trump's fragile ego. And what did he just do? He weaponized the price tag. Amazon is rolling out a new feature that straight up tells shoppers how much Trump's tariffs are jacking up their bills. Yes, a tiny number with massive political fallout. And suddenly, Trump's trade war looks less like art of the deal and more like, oops, all inflation.
So it was reported this morning that Amazon will soon display a little number next to the price of each product that shows how much the Trump tariffs are adding to the cost of each product. So isn't that a perfect crystal clear demonstration that it's the American consumer and not China who is going to have to pay for these policies?
I will take this, since I just got off the phone with the president about Amazon's announcement. This is a hostile and political act.
Oh no, a hostile act? Bezos added a price label, not launched a coup. But Caroline Leavitt is already spiraling like it's DEFCON 1. We haven't seen this much panic since Trump tried to drink water with one hand. And let's be real, Bezos just hit Trump where it hurts. The illusion that tariffs make America rich again. Newsflash, they're just making Walmart receipts longer.
Why didn't Amazon do this when the Biden administration hiked inflation to the highest level in 40 years? And I would also add that it's not a surprise, because as Reuters recently wrote, Amazon has partnered with a Chinese propaganda arm. So this is another reason why Americans should buy American. It's another reason why we are onshoring critical supply chains here at home to shore up our own critical supply chain and boost our own manufacturing.
Wow, that escalated quickly, from tariffs to China to full-blown tinfoil hat geopolitics in under 30 seconds. Impressive, but here's the real play. Bezos didn't just slap a label on Trump's policy, he exposed the whole gimmick. This isn't Bezos being political. This is Bezos saying, hey, if your policies suck, maybe don't blame the packaging. And the best part, Trump can't stop it. He can whine, he can tweet, or whatever platform he's using this week, but Amazon will still be out here printing the truth right on the shelf. And you know this saga isn't over, because what Trump does next, it's going to be even more unhinged. Stay tuned, because it's far from over.
That there is a role for significant tariff revenue in U.S. fiscal policy.
I think that it is something that got put away a long time ago, and I think that tariffs will bring back American manufacturing and generate substantial revenues.
Oh, look, someone just dusted off the old tariffs are good actually manual from 1842. Scott Besant, Trump's favorite fiscal ventriloquist dummy, is out here making tariffs sound like some revolutionary new invention. Next up, leeches for healthcare and carrier pigeons for broadband. But before we fully unpack Bezos drop-kicking Trump's economic fantasy, let's take a brief detour into the swamp, because plot twist, Pam Bondi is back. Yes, that Pam Bondi, Florida's most enthusiastic Trump hype woman, the human shrug emoji in heels. If there's a scandal to spin or a bad policy to blindly support, Bondi appears like Beetlejuice after someone whispers witch hunt 3 times. You'd think that after spending years defending everything from Trump University to alternate facts, she'd at least pretend to understand tariffs, but no, she's just vibing through economic policy like it's karaoke night at Mar-a-Lago.
The next few weeks, many of them have already come to Washington. What President Trump is referring to is the ability for tariff revenue to give income tax relief, and I think there's a very good chance that we will see this in the upcoming tax bill. The president campaigned on no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, and the restoring interest deductibility for autos, for American-made autos. So tariff income could be used for tax relief on all of those immediately.
So let me get this straight. We're gonna slap tariffs on imports, squeeze American consumers dry, and then, surprise, use that money to give tax breaks to Wait for it. Rich car buyers. It's like robbing Peter to bribe Paul, but Paul owns a dealership in Ohio. Honestly, is Trump paying people just to throw economic spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks? Do they get a bonus if they confuse voters before lunch? At this point, his whole inner circle feels less like a policy team and more like a badly scripted reality show. The real gaslighters of DC. And don't worry, because it's only going to get messier from here.
We've seen some pretty grisly surveys this month from the Philly Fed, which saw the biggest drop since May of 2020, and the Dallas Fed, similar plunging outlook, poor shipping orders. What are American manufacturers not understanding about your push for onshoring in the U.S.?
Well, I think I was in the investment business 35 years, and I learned to ignore the survey data and look at the actual data, and the actual data has been quite good. The job data is good. Americans keep spending.
Translation: ignore all the flashing red lights. Just look at the smiley face sticker we slapped on the dashboard. Seriously, this guy's out here saying don't trust the data unless it says we're doing great. It's the economic equivalent of a car salesman duct taping the check engine light and calling it performance enhanced. But enough with the smoke and mirrors. Let's talk Bezos again, because while Trump's camp is stuck in a MAGA version of Wheel of Fortune, Jeff Bezos is playing four-dimensional Monopoly and buying up all the utilities. Trump's huffing and puffing about tariffs like he's auditioning for Shark Tank, 1930s edition, but Bezos? He's out here casually flipping the board, rewriting the rules, and delivering receipts faster than a prime van on steroids.
Lowest regulation, lowest energy costs of anywhere in the world. And if you do business in the United States, you won't pay a tariff, you won't pay a price. That's not just good for companies around the world, but it's good for the American worker. That's what this team is focused so hard on every day. We have work to do. The golden age of America is underway. But as I pointed out in the beginning, there's a lot of reason for the American consumer, the American CEO, the American small business owner to be confident and optimistic.
Ah yes, Golden Age of America, brought to you by anxiety, inflation, and a press conference that sounds like it was sponsored by Word Salad. Here's the deal. Everyone's tired. The American economy is tired. Businesses? Tired. Farmers? Burn out. Shoppers? One overpriced toaster away from a breakdown. Trump keeps pretending tariffs are some masterstroke strategy, but to most people, they're just a confusing, wallet-draining mess with zero upside and infinite spin. But Bezos? He's not tired. He's not bored. He's ready to rain down logistics chaos like Zeus with 2-day shipping. Because if anyone can flip Trump's economic fantasy into a very public reality check, it's the guy with more delivery trucks than Trump has indictments. And that's saying something. This isn't just Bezos making noise, it's Bezos making moves. And Trump, he's stuck playing defense against a billionaire who doesn't even need to show up in person to roast him, and his team is still trying to defend him.
We have these incredible commitments to bring manufacturing back on shore with record investment by domestic corporations and foreigners who want to come into the U.S.
Ah yes, incredible commitments, otherwise known as we made a PowerPoint and hope nobody asks follow-up questions. Now picture this, Jeff Bezos, literally sitting atop a mountain of money, probably wearing a spacesuit just for vibes. And what does he do? Casually flips Trump the economic bird and says, "Nice tariffs, Donnie. Let's see how your economy handles when I start nudging the supply chain." Because let's face it, when you're Bezos, you don't just sell stuff. You practically own the pipeline that makes capitalism run. Your influence? It's prime. Literally. And while Bezos makes moves from his cloud empire, what's Trump doing? You guessed it, panicking in public and assigning blame to everyone except himself. Again.
As you know, which we talked about, and the president continues to be engaged with his fellow leaders around the world in the European Union. You've seen many of them visit the White House. I want to harp on, in closing, the point the secretary just made. On the campaign trail, the president promised the American public that he was going to make America the best country in the world to do business.
Ah yes, the classic MAGA finale. When in doubt, ramble about foreign leaders and promises while hoping nobody notices the economic dumpster fire behind you. Because when things get messy, Trump's go-to move is just throw everyone under the bus, except himself, obviously. He dodges blame like it's a draft notice. But here's where it gets fun. Bezos isn't even playing Trump's game. While Trump throws toddler-level tantrums about tariffs, tariffs. Bezos is probably sipping a protein shake, wondering if he should casually run for office in between space launches. And what does that mean for Trump? Well, the tariffs, a flaming failure. The economy, getting body slammed by Bezos. Trump's only real achievement lately is leaving his own supporters confused, broke, or both. Meanwhile, Bezos, he's making power moves. Every time a Prime package lands on your porch, it's not just a delivery. It's a subtle reminder that Jeff Bezos might have more control over your daily life and Donald Trump's political future than either of them want to admit. But when I see this, I can't stop listening, like an accident. You don't want to see it, but can't look away.
I wouldn't think that we would have supply chain shocks, and I think retailers, they have managed their inventory in front of this. You know, I speak to dozens of companies, sometimes daily, but definitely weekly, and you know, they know that President Trump is committed to fair trade and have...
Oh yeah, sure, Scott. No supply chain shocks. Everything's totally fine, except for the part where prices are climbing like a squirrel on Red Bull and shelves look like a post-apocalyptic Walmart. Now let's get real about Amazon for a second. This isn't just a company, it's a colossus. Jeff Bezos doesn't compete with Trump, he laps him. Trump's out here trying to win an economic pissing contest, and Bezos owns the plumbing. Bezos isn't shipping packages based on MAGA moods. If anything, he's including a complimentary eye roll with every Prime delivery. And now, as tariffs spin out of control, Bezos has found the perfect way to troll Trump by letting America know, item by item, exactly how much extra they're paying thanks to Trump's brilliant trade strategy.
So it was reported today that Amazon was going to start showing tariff charges on all the products they sell on the website, sort of in a form of like a tax underneath the total price, until the White House had like an emergency press conference and absolutely went nuclear on Jeff Bezos and the entire company of Amazon. I mean, Caroline Leavitt literally called Jeff Bezos a Chinese propagandist and said that this is a hostile and...
You know, you've rattled the MAGA machine when the press secretary starts tossing around Chinese propagandists like it's a buzzword bingo win. Trump's White House going nuclear on Amazon? That's not a press briefing. That's a tantrum disguised as policy. Meanwhile, Bezos just sips his green juice and watches the drama from a yacht the size of Delaware, while Trump stomps around like a toddler in a sandcastle. Bezos is running an empire with one hand on the algorithm and the other quietly adjusting your cost of living. And here's the kicker. Bezos isn't just rich, he's functionally powerful, like I control your supply chain powerful, like I decide if your toothpaste arrives tomorrow or next week powerful. And the real punchline? When Musk isn't busy launching Teslas into orbit and Bezos isn't quietly raising your shipping fee, these two are probably texting each other about how Trump thinks tariffs are still a good idea. Musk, want to go to Mars? Bezos, sure. But let's clean up this trade mess first. They're not just racing for richest man on earth. They're casually reminding Trump who actually runs the global economy. While all this happens, Trump's team is still trying to clean up the mess.
Playing to a different audience. So I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty again of who's talking to whom. But as I said, I believe for the Chinese, these tariffs are unsustainable.
Translation, we don't know what we're doing, but trust us, it's totally working. And while Team Trump fumbles through this trade war like it's their first Econ 101 quiz, Jeff Bezos is out here not just playing the game, he's rewriting the entire playbook. Tariffs? Please. Trump's swimming in the deep end with floaties on, while Bezos is already building the pool. This isn't a debate anymore. It's a demolition, because here's the cold truth. Trump's trade war has become an economic wrecking ball, except it's aimed at our own factories, farms, and wallets. He's slapping tariffs on soybeans, steel, and literally anything else that moves, all while pretending it's some genius master plan. Spoiler alert, it's not. It's like trying to fix a sinking ship by drilling more holes and yelling MAGA. Meanwhile, Bezos is just sitting back, sipping something cold and expensive, watching Trump implode with the calm satisfaction of a man who knows he's already won. He's the guy at the poker table holding a royal flush, while Trump is trying to bluff his way through with a laminated Joker card and an IOU.
Chinese continue to say that the U.S. and China are not engaged in any consultation or negotiation on tariffs. You recently said you've talked to your counterpart, but more about, quote, traditional things like financial stability. So can you clarify Is the administration talking to Beijing specifically about tariffs or not?
Well, we're not going to talk about who's talking to whom, but I think that, over time we will see that the Chinese tariffs are unsustainable for China.
Ah, yes. We're not going to say who's talking to whom. Translation, no one's talking to anyone, and we're just hoping you stop asking questions. While Trump plays frontman for this economic circus, Bezos is orchestrating the entire backstage operation, and doing it without even breaking a sweat. Because here's the kicker. Jeff Bezos is playing the long game, and he's playing it in style. Trump is out here desperately begging for attention with every cringy tariff stunt. Bezos, he's turning Amazon Prime Day into a global event that basically pauses the economy. We're talking about a guy whose power is so entrenched, he's trained millions of people to buy stuff they didn't need on a timer with free shipping. That's not marketing, that's mind control. Meanwhile, Trump's tariffs, they're like expired coupons. Confusing, pointless, and everyone just wants them to go away. And while this so-called trade war is supposed to hurt China, let's be honest, it's mostly hurting Americans. Farmers, wrecked. Manufacturers, leaving. Consumers, getting fleeced. But hey, Trump's still getting his 15 minutes. Too bad every single one is spent yelling into the void while Jeff Bezos builds an empire on the back of Amazon boxes and American frustration.
Very large numbers over the past few days to show if these numbers stay on, Chinese could lose 10 million jobs very quickly. And even if there is a drop in the tariffs, that they could lose 5 million jobs. So remember that we are the deficit country. They sell almost 5 times more goods to us than we sell to them. So the onus will be on them to
the classic Trump world math. If we slap tariffs on China, they lose jobs. Never mind the skyrocketing costs for literally everything in American life, but hey, owning the libs, right? Meanwhile, Bezos, he's not here to fix tariffs. He's here to render them obsolete. By the time Trump figures out tariffs are about as useful as a screen door on a submarine, Bezos will already be busy owning the entire retail universe. Go ahead. Try to live a day without touching Amazon. Seriously, I dare you. Groceries, Bezos. Toilet paper, Bezos. A weird Japanese USB fan for your desk? Bezos. He's built an empire so massive, so efficient, so all-consuming. It makes Trump's economic plan look like a lemonade stand that takes IOUs. And let's not even start on logistics. Trump can't even organize a campaign rally without turning it into a meme. Bezos. He's got an air force of drones dropping yoga mats and dish soap on doorsteps across the globe. 24/7 with delivery windows tighter than a MAGA conspiracy thread. Need a TV? Amazon's got it. Golf clubs? Done. A rare Icelandic cookbook from 1983. Bezos had it delivered before you even hit search. And the best part, you never even have to put on pants.
Also reportedly called Bezos right away and said, well, I don't think I can repeat on the radio what I'm sure Trump said. I'm sure Trump was not happy about this. And Caroline Leavitt also came out this morning and said this is a hostile political act if that happens. And guess what? Amazon has said, no, we would never dream of such a thing. Well, Clay, if they hadn't gotten out there right away, the story all day would be, oh my gosh, Amazon, the tariffs, blah, blah, blah. They go right after it and don't allow these things to be
Oh no. Not the dreaded hostile political act from Bezos showing the truth on a website? The horror. Meanwhile, Trump's response is peak tantrum. We're talking red-faced, speed-dialing Bezos, probably yelling about tariffs like they're a secret weapon from Call of Duty, Trade Edition. But Bezos, he's already won. He's not sweating, he's innovating. While Trump's out here screaming into a void, Bezos is turning your shopping cart into a weapon of mass disruption. The man reinvented how the world buys, and Trump, he's out here trying to turn tariffs into walls. Spoiler, still doesn't work. Here's the real takeaway. Bezos isn't just rich, he's untouchable. While Trump craves headlines, Bezos quietly controls your next purchase. Tariffs, that's yesterday's scam. Bezos is already rewriting the future of global trade, and he's doing it with a Prime badge and a same-day delivery window. Trump wanted a legacy. Bezos built a supply chain, and in this battle of billionaires, Trump's building imaginary walls, while Bezos is building the world. It is madness. Here you can find the next crazy event in the Trump disaster. Oh, you're gonna want to click on that.